Hey, Kyle, it's wonderful here again with another wrestling review. This time it's WWE NXT Level Up from July 29th, 2022. So, three matches as usual tonight with all the changes that's been happening in WWE and NXT right now. It should be felt all the way down to the newest recruits. So, let's check in on everybody's progress as they all want to impress the new regime. So, we start tonight's action with Javier Bernal versus Myles Borne. So, Myles Borne gets another chance to pick up his first ever win tonight, having gone 0-4 so far. So he had his first ever tag team match last week, and Javier Bernal was his partner. So they had a little bit of mistiming since that was Myles Borne first ever tag match in his entire career. Myles Borne ended up kicking Javier Bernal in the face with a drop kick on accident. Then Myles got mad that Javier wasn't there to tag in. So that set up the match here tonight. Against the much smaller Myles Borne. Should have a pretty good chance to get his first ever win tonight against the much smaller Javier Bernal. But Javier will use his experience and speed advantage to try and avoid getting caught by the 17-year folk style wrestler. So the amateur wrestler here, Myles Borne, he's only like 23, so that means he's been wrestling since he's about 5 years old. Javier Bernal comes out first. He's adored by the crowd. He gets good cheers here. And then Myles Borne comes out, and he also gets pretty good cheers. He's impressed with the crowd so far, so they like his amateur style, and he's got a good look to him as well. Myles Borne is legally deaf. I don't know if he's completely deaf that he can't hear anything, but Myles Borne is hearing impaired. So it's just an accomplishment to see him get this far as it is, and I'm excited to see Myles Borne's progression as he goes through NXT. This will be his fifth match ever. Looking for his first ever win against Javier Bernal, and like I said, they tagged together last week and had bad chemistry. So Javier starts the match and he tries to grapple, but that was definitely a mistake against the 17-year amateur wrestler here, Myles Borne. So Myles Borne just takes over with a nice takedown, and Javier looks hurt from that already. So Javier then makes the mistake of trying to go back to amateur style grappling, and again, Javier it was a mistake. So Javier needs to work a quick pace and his speed advantage and not grapple with the larger man who has an amateur style background. So Javier now goes outside of the ring, and Myles Borne holds the ropes up so that Javier can come back in. He's like, come on in, man, quit running. And then Javier takes a cheap shot here while he gets back in the ring and goes on the attack. So we have never seen this side of Javier Bernal before. The crowd's now cheering for Myles Borne and booing these actions of Javier Bernal. So Javier works a headlock now back in the ring, but Myles again is able to use his expertise in the technical game to get out of this. But Javier now hits a nice drop kick right after for a 2 count. Javier goes back to the headlock, and the crowd's cheering for Borne to get back up. And Javier charges right into a suplex, a nice looking suplex from Myles Borne. So Myles then hits a vertical suplex and then tries to hit a body slam right after that, maintaining the hold right up to his feet. But Javier Bernal counters this with a roll up, and Javier holds the ropes, and that helps him get the 1-2-3. The winner of this match by pinfall is Javier Bernal. And wow, Javier using his experience advantage in pro wrestling to counter the vast experience advantage in amateur wrestling that Myles Borne had. So this was also good to see that people are becoming clearly either face or heel. That's something that a lot of people on the lower end of the performance center were lacking. Now it's clear as day that Javier Bernal will be a heel going forward. He doesn't mind cheating the win, and the crowd who cheered him loudly on his way out now cheers him, boos him out of the building as Javier Bernal celebrates a big win here. So maybe we'll get to see Javier Bernal on NXT 2.0 a little bit more often, or maybe we'll see Javier Bernal next week on Level Up. We'll have to wait and see. So another good match by Myles Borne, looking like a great amateur wrestler, looking like a great powerhouse as well, but he has a long way to go to learn the tricks of the trade when it comes to professional wrestling. Javier outsmarting him with dirty tactics and able to use that to win the match, which is all that matters at the end of the day. Myles Borne now goes to 0-5 in his career, 0-4 in singles matches. So he'll be looking to come out again with another big win, or for his first win next time. So in the back now, 4 straight weeks that we get a promo after the first match. The promo is always one of the two people, or in this case, a team that's in the main event. So I love that Level Up started doing that. I think when Level Up first started, they had the first couple episodes with some promos. Then they stopped for for a couple of months. But now we're back to having promos on Level Up, which is very important because not only do people need the level ups, quote unquote, or train in their wrestling ability, but they need to train in their promo ability as well. So it's really important for them to have these promos on Level Up. So in the back with the I forget her name, apologies for that, but the interviewer woman, she says she's got Quincy Elliott with her, and she talks about how Quincy Elliott is going to team with Ikemen and Jiro tonight, and she asks why. So Quincy Elliott says Ikemen and Jiro is a man after my own heart, someone who could walk the runway and the catwalks with me. And then Ikemen and Jiro comes in and says, "Oh, you look amazing. You are Style Strong. Wow, look at the Style Strong tag team is back." So this is this time with Quincy Elliott replacing Kushida, and a little bit of a downgrade from Kushida, one of the best junior heavyweights in New Japan history, to the rookie here, Quincy Elliott. But it should be a fun tag team, and that means Style Strong is back. So it's a pretty good mix of a big guy and a small guy now. And also last week, or maybe the week before, Quincy and Ikemen fought against each other on Level Up, and Ikemen used his experience to win that match. So they must have gained a little bit of respect for each other after that match. And also Ikemen can now be the mentor for the rookie Quincy. Ikemen's had almost 1,000 matches in his career. So Quincy's had about 10 to 15 matches in his career. So this will be an important step for Quincy Elliott's development now that he's in a tag team with a much more experienced man. So that'll be a fun tag team, and they will be in the main event against Malik Blade and Idris Enofe in a really big, important match for the tag division in our main event. But first, we've got in women's action, Fallon Henley versus Sol Ruca. And now Fallon has had just two of the best matches of her career over in NXT UK in the last month. So let's see if she can bring that form back to the United States here. Fallon Henley looking for another win to keep the momentum going strong in her favor. But her opponent, Sol Ruca, this is only going to be her second match in her career. We saw her a couple weeks ago here on Level Up make her debut match of her entire life, and she looks pretty good in it. Has Sol Ruca has a gymnastics tumbling background from the University of Oregon, and then she's really good with her flips and agility in her last match. So Sol Ruca will also be looking for her first ever win tonight in her career in any company ever. So Fallon Henley comes in out first, accompanied by Briggs and Jensen, and then Sol Ruca has new ring gear this week and a cooler entrance. Now Sol Ruca does the splits as she goes into the ring and then flips around nicely when she gets in there. So we've got a surfer girl from California in Sol Ruca versus the country girl from the rural Michigan, not kind of where I'm from, but they never actually say that she's from Michigan because she's supposed to kind of look more like a Southern gal. But anyway, Fallon Henley out here now. Sol Ruca has the size advantage in this match, but Fallon definitely has the experience advantage. But Sol probably has the agility advantage along with her strength advantage because of the tumbling background. So Fallon is feisty and intense, however. So Fallon does start strong, showing that intensity, but Sol does a good job to show that she's stronger here. Fallon, though, has technical wrestling skills way better than Sol, so Fallon gets some good grappling here, and Fallon's able to keep Sol grounded to the mat with some headlocks, taking her down anytime Sol gets to the mat, because she does have the power advantage. But Fallon hits a big shoulder tackle, showing that she's not to be taken lightly here. But when Fallon Henley does the yeehaw after the shoulder tackle, that gives Sol Ruca enough time to take control now. So Sol then tries some grappling of her own and is able to take down Fallon to the mat. Sol then cartwheels into attack. That looked really nice, again showing her great agility. Then Fallon fights back, but Sol again flips to evade attacks. Sol gets a 2 count on a roll-up now. Then both women awkwardly run into each other. The two women bump their heads and both go down. Sol Ruca gets up first, and she hits 2 or 3 different pinning attempts for 2 counts. And then Sol hits a big, powerful scoop slam, showing that she's pretty strong, even stronger than her size suggests. So this gets Sol Ruca a 2 count. Sol then applies a hammerlock on the arm, showing she's got a little bit of technical abilities as well. Good match here by Sol Ruca. She's able to take Fallon again to the mat, when the crowd's cheering hard for Fallon Henley to fight back now. So Fallon gets out and hits 2 big punches to the face, and then a nice hair face plant, spinning like slammed it to the mat that with her hair. Then Fallon hits the hoe down, which is a Busaiko knee for a 1-2-3. Did not know that was Fallon's finisher. It's the hoe down, and it's a Busaiko knee. So the winner of this match by pinfall is Fallon Henley. Really good match here. Sol looks great for only having 2 matches in her entire career. She looks way better than a lot of people I've seen have like 20, 30, 40 matches. So Sol Ruca looks like a natural in the ring. That's great. She should be able to go far. She looks like she has a lot of charisma. She's almost like a female version of Riddle. And if she can become popular like that, we might have a new star just out of nowhere. No wrestling experience before in her career, just coming out of the gymnastics background in college. And she's also a surfer as well. So she's got great balance, great tumbling. That should be signs that she could go far in her career. So I don't know how good her promos or anything like that is yet, but she does have charisma, just a natural Kavorka. So that could draw people in and to cheer for her in the future. So she should be a really good babyface going in the future. It's main event time now. It'll be the rebranding of Style Strong. That's Ikemen Jiro and Quincy Elliott versus Idris Enofe and Malik Blade. So big match here in the NXT tag division. Idris and Malik cannot allow the reformed Style Strong team to pass them in the rankings right away here. So very important match for both teams. Idris and Malik have been being mentored by Cameron Grimes lately, but recently Cameron has been distant and downtrodden. So maybe we don't know how this might affect Idris and Malik coming into this match. So Ikemen Jiro comes out first. He's got some of the greatest music in NXT. It's great stuff. So the crowd absolutely loves Ikemen Jiro, and Ikemen comes into this match with 5 times more matches in his career than all 3 other men combined, having close to 1,000 matches total, most of them in Japan. So Quincy the Elliott then comes out next. He dances his way out to the ring and also gets big cheers from the crowd. So Style Strong already potentially more popular than Idris and Malik. This match will test the crowd for who they like more. So Idris and Enofe and Malik Blade then come out next. Also the big cheers from the crowd. This is going to be a really fun match. So I wonder if we're going to see a heel turn like the first match, but I definitely hope not, because both of these teams are loved, but we do need a few more heel teams. Right now, there's the Dyad, there's the Tony D'Angelo family, and I know I'm missing one. Oh, Pretty Deadly as well. But for on the face side, you got Malik and Idris. You've got Diamond Mine, Creed Brothers, Chase U. Now we got Style Strong as well. Brooks and Jensen. They're all faces. So we might need another heel tag team at some point. So anyway, I hope it wouldn't be one of these two. And no, we get a clean match here. So right now, Quincy Elliott and Idris Enofe are going to start this match. Quincy, if you don't know, is about 330 pounds, something along those lines. So Quincy has a massive size advantage and uses it right away. So when Idris tries to do any kind of amateur style, gets a waist lock on, Quincy then dances and grinds to annoy Idris here. So then we get a big shoulder tackle, and then that takes Idris down hard from Quincy, and who tags in Ikemen Jiro. Jiro then dances with Quincy after a double team here on Idris. Idris is able to evade an attack and tag out, however. Now they use quick tags and hit 3 double team moves on Jiro in a row, and Malik is the legal man after that, and he applies an arm lock on Jiro. So Jiro is able to get out and hit some jacket punches, but Malik hits some big forearms in response, and then a drop kick to win this little striking exchange here. So great display of strong style here by Malik Blade, fighting against someone who's learned strong style in Japan. So tag to Idris now, and they hit another double team move for a 2 count, and Jiro is definitely in trouble now. So Idris keeps Jiro in their corner, tags in Malik. Malik then hits a springboard senton, and the crowd chants, "We want Quincy," but some of the crowd chants, "No, we don't." So just like I predicted, there is a split between the crowd here, between the 2 popular teams. So Jiro then evades a few attacks in a row, and now he's able to finally tag out to Quincy Elliott, who comes in with some great hot tag offense here. Quincy knocks Idris right off the apron, then destroys Malik Blade. Quincy then hits a running splash, but Idris is in the break the pin. It didn't look like Malik was going to be able to kick out of that 300-pound plus splash. So then Quincy hits a double shoulder tackle to avoid a double team, knocking both Idris and Malik down. That looked great from Quincy Elliott, but Idris is able to fight back, knocking Jiro off the apron. The crowd's now booing this one, but they're just trying to win the match. It's not really a heel tactic. So Malik then tags in, and he's able to lift up the giant Quincy Elliott, and Malik then hits a double team neckbreaker Samoa drop combo for the 1-2-3. The winners of this match by pinfall are Malik Blade and Quincy Elliott. Great match here. Really fast-paced action. Quincy looked absolutely phenomenal with his hot tag offense on his big shoulder tackles and all his big power moves, looking like a young Vader in there. So if he can develop into like a Vader Goldust hybrid, which sounds ridiculous, but might be kind of what I see Quincy Elliott as right now, that could be great going forward. So good to see Quincy Elliott getting more and more matches. I think he's up to like 15, almost up to 20 in his career now. He's been with NXT a little over a year. Starting all the way back to like over a year ago with Joe Gacy, when Joe Gacy was just originally trying to be all inclusive, and Quincy Elliott was brought in to be as part of the fact that Joe Gacy didn't like the cruiserweight title because it had a weight limit and it wasn't all inclusive. So that's how long Quincy Elliott's been around, but now he's getting more and more matches every single week, or every other week at the very least. Idris and Malik also have some great double team moves in their arsenal. It's just a matter of time before they start getting more and more opportunities on NXT 2.0. I would love to see another Idris Malik Creed Brothers match, and then Idris Malik versus Pretty Deadly would also be pretty good. So Idris Malik might be the first victims from the dyad. I'm trying to think who the dyad might feud with first. Maybe it would be Idris Malik, although there was a little bit of a Joe Gacy feud with Diamond Mine, if you remember. So that could also be another thing. They already had one match when they were in their robes as the dyad. Now that they're Jagger Reed and Rip Fowler, they might fight the Creeds again. But after that, I could see maybe Idris and Malik being in a feud with the dyad that might go back to, especially if the dyad gets Cameron Grimes to join them, then Idris and Malik might have a reason to fight. They'd be like mad that their mentor turned his back on everything that he was trying to teach them just to join Joe Gacy and be evil or whatever. So anyway, great stuff here. Really good matches. Great episode of Level Up. We get to see all the youngsters trying to develop. They're developing nicely. We get it established a new heel tonight in Javier Bernal. We got a second match ever by Saul Ruca in her career, and she looked great. She looks like a natural. That was really good stuff. And we get the reformation of Style Strong under new partnership, this time Kushida being replaced by the much larger and the much more inexperienced Quincy Elliott. So good stuff overall. Malik Blade and Idris Enofe picking up a big win that might grant them a title shot in the future. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Don't forget that the NXT UK tag team titles have been around since Briggs and Jensen have those. So maybe Idris and Malik could find themselves getting an NXT UK title shot with a few more wins. Then you never know. So good episode of Level Up. I look forward to it every week. So just to check in on everybody's progress in the lower levels of the Performance Center. So a lot of changes going on in WWE. It continues to show up even here on Level Up. I would say it was a little bit different just because we finally got like an established heel or face. We don't get too many like heel turns and stuff like that on Level Up. So maybe potentially the Triple H era already being felt all the way down to the lowest level of the Performance Center. So that's great to see, and I'm looking forward to everything else. I hope to see you guys tomorrow night for SummerSlam. That should be a great pay-per-view event. And for all you NXT fans, I'll be here Tuesday night as well. So I'll see you guys again, and have a great night. Peace.